How's it going, guys? I got a pick here in this week 5 matchup. This matchup, we see Saints versus Giants. This matchup is taking place at New Orleans at Saints' backyard. We got the money line set at minus 129 for the Saints, the Giants at plus 105, and then that lines for the spread set at minus 2. This over and under is at 42. So if you look at this matchup, like I said, Saints are home. It's a bit of an interesting matchup because we have a Giants team that are 1-3, just got their first win in the Chargers. Then the opposite side, we see a Saints, which are 0-4, which obviously isn't the best record, though they have played tough teams. 3 out of those 4 teams that they have played, coming in Bills, Seahawks, and 49ers, are all winning teams. If you add up all their wins, they just have 2. If you add up the losses throughout the 3, they just have 2 losses, which is really impressive. So it is tough for the Saints to have faced the competition that they have. But then if you look at the opposite side in the Giants, what they've been able to do, especially last week with Jaxson Dart, and I think he's going to be a key player, not just this game, but just for the Giants as a whole overall. We do see Malik Neighbors that is out, but I do think with Jaxson Dart, Scatterboo, and just the way that this energy of this new offense has gave to this whole entire team, I think is going to be crucial. Like I said last week in this Giants-Chargers matchup, I said how big that's going to be is that Jaxson Dart brings that energy not just to the room, to the coaches, to the staff, and to the fans, and that makes an overall huge difference when you're playing in an NFL game, especially at home. Yes, this one isn't at home, but in general, you got your first win, you're rolling with momentum, and I think that was a perfect way for Jaxson Dart to start with this Giants offense and just overall Giants team. If you look at this defense, even for the Giants, they have a very solid defense. They have high-playing, young, talented athletes on their defense side of things, but just really across the board, they have really a young, talented squad. Very athletic, and just go out there and play some ball type of squad they have. Like I said, yes, the Saints have faced tough competition, but just overall, just as an organization, since Drew Brees retired, they've had a struggle. They've had a struggle winning games, really, just as a whole. They are 15-21 at home since Drew Brees retired, which was in 2021, which is obviously a losing record. They're under 6 games at home. Then if you look at ATS since that 2021 season, since Drew Brees retired, they are 29-38 against the spread, which is another number that is awful and don't want to really be touching, a lot under than what it should be, a losing record. Overall, just a losing record. Then if you look at them when they were favorite against the spread ATS since Drew Brees has left, they're 11-19, which is another number that you really don't want to see if you're putting money on them and you're laying points or just putting money on them in general, whether they're home, against the spread or favorite against the spread. Is just all the way around losing ever since that 2021 Drew Brees retirement season. So just not what you want to see from an organization at all. Just clearly hasn't been able to get the ball rolling since their career passing quarterback Drew Brees. So it's just been difficult for the New Orleans Saints. Really, really difficult for them. But you could say on the opposite side, it's been very difficult as well for the Giants. The only difference, in my opinion, is Giants have found their guy. Saints have not found their guy. And I think that is going to be a very key difference in this matchup. I think another thing that's going to be very interesting is the simple question is can they stop Jaxson Dart's legs and stop him from being able to get those explosive plays with his legs? They allowed 38 rushing yards to Kyler Murray, and they allowed 45 rushing yards to Josh Allen, which are both rushing type of quarterbacks that if you give them an opportunity, they will take it and they will beat you with their legs, which is a very dangerous quarterback. But then on the other side, can Dart also use all his receivers and make a big play even without Neighbors being involved? We seen him leave the game midway through the second quarter with 20 yards already. I do think he was planning on to use him a lot and definitely was going to be a key player, but they still found a way to win with still another whole half left, which does impress me. So I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue, but it is a question that is yet to be answered that I am very curious to see. Because I think the win against the Chargers and having just a young QB lead the young room and just makes the energy just boost up and just feel different. And that is exactly what the Giants need, in my opinion. This is definitely a winnable game for Jaxson Dart, a quarterback that I see is going to be really good in this league. If you're giving me still plus points with him, and he just proved that he could beat the Chargers. Yes, it was at home, but still, he proved that he can do it against a tough defensive team. I do like Giants in this game. I will lean Giants money line at the plus 105. Yes, it's just barely, but it's still plus money. I would lean there. I wouldn't even care to take them with the points at all. Just give me them straight up money line, in my opinion. Jaxson Dart, I do like him for his over rushing yards. That's another thing I do really enjoy in this game. It's 37.5. I like it. Like I said, I like his over for that rushing yards. It's at minus 125. You can pay for it. That number to me is going to be a key thing. Like I said, a crucial thing is if the Saints can stop. They allowed 38 to Kyler Murray. They allowed 45 to Josh Allen. I do think Jaxson Dart is a rushing type of quarterback, just similar to them. I see him rushing the ball anywhere from 7 to 10 times in this game. So I do see him getting over that 37.5. I do see him getting over pretty easily, honestly. As well as something I do think is interesting is Saints scored only 1 out of the 4 games in the first quarter. So I would lean a little bit, maybe sprinkle a little bit of change on Giants first quarter. I do think it'll probably be decent plus money, plus maybe 200. If you get plus 200 at it, the odds right now are currently on up for it. Probably once it gets Saturday, Sunday, they will be. But if you get something closer to that higher hundreds, maybe around 200s, I wouldn't mind sprinkling Giants first quarter. Like I said, Saints only scored 1 time out of the 4 games in the first quarter. So very underwhelming first quarter for the Saints. That is my picks for this game, especially with that Jaxson Dart over 37.5. That would be the most likely thing I would take if I had to take this game. But if you do like my thoughts and opinions on these games, I will be doing more. So please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so that way you guys are staying updated. Really helps if you guys comment your thoughts and your opinions and just overall what's your guys' thoughts on the games and your picks for the week. So I'm going to see you guys Sunday for the rest of the slate, and let's kill the books.